It's day 16 of the Lindsay Clancy murder trial, and jurors are hearing more testimony today from witnesses called by her defense team. The Duxbury mom is accused of strangling her 3 young children to death using exercise bands.
And as Western Mass News correspondent Rena Roy reports, her defense lawyer is trying to prove Clancy was experiencing postpartum psychosis and shouldn't be held criminally liable.
For a second day, psychologist Paul Zeisel walking jurors through the downward spiral he says Lindsay Clancy suffered in the months and days before the deaths of her children. Zeisel first met with Clancy 11 days after the killings and then about 60 times since then. Zeisel says Clancy had intrusive thoughts from a combination of bipolar disorder and postpartum psychosis.
Intrusive thoughts are unrelenting. They don't stop. They were getting worse, and they were telling her to kill herself.
Zeisel telling jurors that by January 24th, 2023, the day of the killings and her attempted suicide, she could no longer determine right from wrong. He also described the call Clancy made from the hospital to her husband nearly 2 weeks later.
She had said that she heard a male voice ordering her, telling her that she didn't have any choice, but she had to kill her children and then kill herself.
Prosecutors have tried to cast doubt on that claim, arguing she acted intentionally and should be sent to prison. The defense also claiming Clancy received improper care from various medical professionals who prescribed her more than a dozen different psychiatric drugs in the months before the killings.
She wasn't getting what she wanted or what she needed from one provider, so then she went to another, really making a very confusing picture.
Clancy's mother and mother-in-law took the stand in her defense earlier this week, both testifying that they were concerned about the side effects from her medication, her mother saying it was destroying her mind. Rena Roy, ABC News.